Good evening to everyone. My name is Carl Tippin. I'm the college counselor here. Welcome to the second annual Golden Tassel Banquet. Tonight we are extremely excited to recognize these fantastic students who have achieved a ranking in the top 10% class of 2019. Let's give them a round of applause. So tonight this Golden Tassel Banquet came into being through an idea of wanting to recognize students who have achieved this top 10% ranking. It is extremely difficult to achieve that ranking for these students, because it becomes more and more challenging for what they have done. This banquet is for you, to honor you. Excuse me. You have sacrificed, you have worked hard, you have read and reread, and written and rewritten, your commitment and dedication. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Each of the students have selected a teacher who has made an impact on them. Throughout their educational journey, it has been a wonderful experience, and you will hear some remarks a little bit later on this evening. I want to thank each and every teacher here for all that you have done and all that you do. Students, you couldn't have done this alone. There are some folks along the way that have aided in your success. This is what we call your village. Your parents, your siblings, yes, your siblings, grandparents, uncles, aunts, and whomever else. First of all, I'd like to recognize them as you all are here tonight. Give them a round of applause. And I would be remiss without acknowledging several key individuals here this evening. Mayor Wheat and the Board of Trustees, thank you for being here and for all of your support. Superintendent, again, thank you for everything you've done to make this event in supporting all of us. Ms. Autry, where are you? Thank you for keeping us on task. Dr. Bryson, for your vision, thank you so much for everything that you've done. To our committee, the Golden Tassel Committee, Mr. Stoyanov, Ms. Phillips, Ms. Gardner, thank you so much for all of your efforts. Last but not least, to the representatives and Charles Schwab, thank you for this. Thank you for this. We truly, truly appreciate it. So, I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but I do. So this is, I'm going to go off script just a little bit. This is going to be emotional because now I'm sitting here thinking about what am I going to do when my daughter graduates in about 6 weeks. I'm in trouble.
You didn't have us fooled.
So thank you for everything, for the welcome. We will follow the program as printed, so please enjoy the meal as it comes. Thank you.
I just want to say that this is a very special night, and it's a night that I am very happy that we started, and a tradition that we started, because it's just such a special time to pause in this hectic season of senior events and truly acknowledge academic excellence. So I'm excited to hear what everyone has to say tonight, and I'm thrilled that we keep expanding the teachers that we are acknowledging. So I'm going to start the night with an introduction, and it is my privilege and my pleasure to introduce our new superintendent, Mrs. Amanda DeGan.
Thank you, Michelle. For those of you who do not know me, welcome. I am Amanda DeGan. I was appointed your town manager and superintendent on February the 1st, a position that I have enjoyed immensely in almost these 3 months, and I figure if I've made it this far, I'll make it the rest of the way. So what you may not know is I do understand what your parents are feeling and what you students are feeling sitting in these chairs. I had a senior in the class of 2010. My oldest son graduated in the first class. My oldest daughter graduated in the second class. So kudos to all of you for getting this far, parents and students, as it is very difficult. And I know you have worked hard and spent many, many hours at this. What you may not know is this has quickly become one of the highlights of our graduation celebrations. Senior banquet's wonderful. Graduation, of course, is full of pomp and circumstance, but this allows us to really get together as a family and to celebrate, to get to know you all, to see all the students that have worked so hard, or at least this top 10% of the class, and to acknowledge you because we know that you've spent the hours. You've given up the spare time, the movies with your friends, the dances, the other things, in order to get to where you're at today. So congratulations to all of you. And while we haven't necessarily been a upfront part of your educational walk, know that we're in the background. You have many people that have supported you, not just your parents, but your administrative staff, your teachers, the ones that you've chosen to honor here this evening, the municipal staff members that have served behind the scenes when you probably didn't even know they were working for you, your educational board who spends many, many hours looking out for your very best interests. And at the risk, Mr. Tippin, of not getting emotional as well, we know that you have a choice in your educational walk. We are very honored that you have chosen Westlake Academy to spend the years that you have spent with us, to put the time in, to be a part of this family. We know that you will do well on the exams that are coming up. We know that graduation will be a high point. But one thing that we'd like to leave you with this evening is that Westlake Academy will always be your home. And know that you are always welcome at home at Westlake Academy with all of us. So congratulations. Once again, enjoy the evening. Go slow. Don't rush through these last month of senior year. I know it's very easy to do, but cherish it because all too soon you'll be heading off to college and you'll miss those friends that you've made. But very best of luck to you on those exams, and we'll see you at graduation. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Laura Wheat. I'm the mayor of the town of Westlake, and as such, I am also the president of the Board of Trustees of Westlake Academy. I'm joined tonight by Greg Goebel and his wife, Vicki. Greg is my colleague on the school board and town council. Thank you so much for being here. And I also want to extend my thanks to our folks at Schwab. My goodness, could a town like ours and a school like ours have a better friend? I don't think so. So we're just so appreciative for everything that you do. And we're looking forward to those beautiful new buildings opening, that is for sure. Well, you know, I share the sentiments of Dr. Bryson and Mrs. DeGan about the special nature of tonight. But I have to let you in on a little secret. When this was first discussed last April, last May, I looked at Stacy. I said, "Are you kidding me? One more thing in the spring? Oh my gosh, our calendars can't be full enough, right?" So I came to that event, honestly, I was a little sour in my attitude. I don't think anyone knew. But but as the evening wore on, I just couldn't have been more impressed and more proud of Westlake Academy and our teachers and our students. My goodness, you guys, you are what makes Westlake Academy shine, and you are our future. We are only as bright as you, and how lucky we are that your stars are just shining so brightly, and they will only continue to do that. I know that. From the bottom of my heart, I know that. I want to remind you of one thing, though, and Mrs. DeGan touched on it. You did not get here because you are lucky. You got here because you made choices. And you need to remember that because you are going to have a lot of choices to make in the next few years. You've made good choices to date, and I have every reason to believe that you're going to continue to do so in your very bright futures. Enjoy your evening, and thank you for including us in it.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stacy Stoyanoff. I'm the secondary principal, and I get the distinct privilege of awarding your Golden Tassel tonight. Okay? Some of you don't know that May 1st, obviously, is our award ceremony, and I'm tasked with coming up with all the chords and all the things that we're going to bestow upon you on that day. Okay? There's a lot of them. Medals, different colored chords. It's endless. I have a rack in my office just filled with chords, okay? But this is the second year that we've done this, okay? Out of all of those regalia, on graduation day, you can see this in the auditorium anywhere. That's how special this is, right? And I want you to think about that. This is a big deal. You'll be seen everywhere on graduation day, just because this is on your hat, mortarboard. What does this mean? I think you've heard some things here. It's hard work, right? A lot of hard work went into this, a lot of dedication, a lot of perseverance. Dr. Price had mentioned something, and I'm going to teach you a new word, okay? This is also represents an ancient Greek ideal, okay? That ideal, the word is arete. It's excellence in all things. That's what you guys represent, excellence in all things. So take it to heart. Congratulations. I'm going to call each of you up, and when you come up, please accept your golden tassel and your award, and then also you can introduce your teacher. Let's begin with Hunter Bernard. Tassel.
I think I'm too tall for this one, so. Bonjour, je m'appelle Hunter et je vous présente Madame Ibrahim. Oh, merci. So I know that most of you probably don't know what I just said, and that's because I'm the only student here who takes French. Yes. But that's what makes it even more special to have Madame Ibrahim up here with me tonight. I feel like language is a subject that's typically looked over by students just because not many choose to pursue it in their future careers. However, it's not the actual French that has stuck with me the most throughout my years with Madame Ibrahim. It's the life lessons that she's taught me. Madame Ibrahim has taught me so much about my attention to detail, my persistence in learning difficult topics, and my work ethic because she has over-prepared us for all of the IB exams, which I'm so greatly thankful for. And also, most of all, you've taught me about my precision to detail in my language with French. So I would just like to thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, je vais vous manquer l'année prochaine.
Et toi aussi, tu vas me manquer, bien sûr.
I don't know if you want which one.
I feel very honored and lucky and grateful. And really, I'm lucky because I had, for 2 years, a true IB learner, and this is our mission. So you can see she's a risk taker. She took the French, she didn't took the Spanish. And I remember last year when I asked my French students to come to a sixth grader, to help them in the language they choose. They told her, but we know that French is not easy, Spanish is very difficult. She said, okay, so that's why I took French, because I need help in it. And after this, I see Spanish, I can do it on my own. So a risk taker, not only is this, a really knowledgeable and reflective. We have a debate about our rubrics. Why I get this grade? I did this and this and this. And by doing all this, she understands really what her strengths and what is her weakness, and she go over it, and she know what is her way to, to come to the excellent, really. And by this, it's confident communicator in the target language, and open-minded too, not only for a new culture, but it's how she, she is dealing with all this grammar difficulty with easiness. So she's really open-minded with it. And last and not least, it's how she's balanced. She has her life, she has her sports, all the French Honor Society activities, and she was always prepared to every quiz, every test, and all her assignment was usually, turned in before even the deadline. So I was lucky. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we have a student who's not here tonight. It's Saj Bhatia, but Mr. Tippett is accepted.
I'm not going to lose it. So, unfortunately, Saj was not able to be here. He is currently visiting Vanderbilt University right now with an opportunity that may come his way. But he did have some words that he wanted me to share about his Teacher of Impact. When I was first asked to invite a Teacher of Impact, I immediately realized it would be a taxing decision for me. How was I supposed to identify and select one teacher who had a profound positive influence on me when every teacher at Westlake I've ever had has invested extensive time and effort in me? To tackle this task, or so I thought at the time, I had to quantify impact. I needed a metric. I deliberated for many minutes, or maybe hours. One loses track of time when lost in his or her thoughts. But I was unable to come to a conclusion and say, these numbers and changes over my school year certainly indicate there was a great impact on me here. What was I thinking? That deliberation was just me scavenging old exams and assignments. That was my mistake, and I realized that. Everything cannot be quantified. Everything cannot be clinical, sterile. Some things are organic. I put away those year-old boxes brimming with faded papers, coated with smudgy pencil marks, and looked for the answer where I should have searched to begin with. Making such a choice as choosing a single individual from my 13 years of school thus far is not something that can be answered using reason. It is not rational. Everything doesn't have to be rational. Some understanding is intrinsic. It comes from here. It's a feeling. So I asked myself candidly this time, who is it? The answer manifested itself naturally. It is Mrs. Estrada. For the year she was my teacher, I began to discover my voice, the voice that helps me say what I think and write what I think. It is an invaluable skill. It is an invaluable power. It makes a feeling into something substantive, something real. Thank you, Mrs. Estrada. You're the best.
Well, I had to jot down a few things because I was thinking about Sej today. And I was thinking about, how do I do this when he's not here? But I think he was here because you can hear his voice in his words, for sure. And I think you can hear that Sej is a bit of I would say, old soul in a way. He's always been, since I had known him since 10th grade when I had him for English, very mature and always just extremely interested in language and words, as you could hear. In fact, I think I told him to tone it down a little bit a couple times in 10th grade. It's like, let's just get the whole essay. This is hard. Like, go back on the language a little bit, because I'm looking up every other word in the dictionary. But I love that passion for language that Sej has, and he's truly grown into that love for language and has become such an articulate young man. We always know that Sej is articulate when he's speaking. I know that you all can probably remember some debates with Sej. Anytime you're debating with Sej, he's very articulate, and he knows how to state his position. And he's the same in writing as well. And so I think one of the coolest things that he told me as he's getting ready for college and applying for schools is that he's considering a minor in linguistics. And I think for an English teacher, that's like the best thing you can hear. So now he has to follow through on it, because I've told you all about it. But I really appreciate and I'm honored that he thought of me, and he's a really sweet kid, and we miss him tonight, and we're so proud of him. So thank you.
All right, Samuel Jung.
Oh boy. Okay. So the teacher I chose was Mr. Koshi. I have the honor and privilege and joy of getting to invite him up here today. But when I was choosing my teacher of impact, I was looking over, I don't know, which class did I feel like I was so engaged and I was learning something new every single class. And it's funny because normally I would call myself a maths guy, kind of towards inclined that way. Numbers have been the majority of what I like to do in general. If you know me, I play Ken every day. It's another word for math Sudoku. But I realized when I was younger, my sister one day, she brought home a periodic table. And I remember looking at it and realizing that none of it made any sense, and that there's a bunch of letters with numbers attached to them. And then, I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of cool to know what all of these things are. And then I remember saying that I wanted to be a chemical engineer. And that kind of got tucked away in the back of my head, but over these past few months, with literally every class where I'm thrown a truck full of content, ranging from how primary alcohols have 2 stages when undergoing reflux with heat. First becoming a ketone, and then a carboxylic acid, and learning that a secondary alcohol will only turn into, oh, I may have gotten that backwards. Well, the secondary alcohol only has one phase, and then the tertiary alcohol, because it doesn't have any hydrogen attached to it, it doesn't undergo a reaction. And I realized, wow, I'm so engaged in chemistry, and it's really something that I've enjoyed learning for the past 2 years. And even though there's a lot of questions in the various question banks that he has us look at, somehow I managed to get through it all, and I just really want to thank Mr. Koshi.
Good evening. First of all, I wanted to thank you for selecting me as a teacher of impact. Congratulations, Samuel. You are ranked in top 10 of the graduating class of 2019. And I know that you got this only because of your hard work and dedication. And so I acknowledge whatever you have done. To tell you frankly, I have never seen a student so passionate about learning. I was with him for the last two years, And every day I can see him, the passion for learning. And I have never seen him any boredom or any distraction in the class other than knowing the subject. So whenever I am talking, he is paying 100% attention to me. And if at all I do some word problem on the board, if I make a mistake, and as he said, numbers are his. So he will immediately point out, Mr. Koshi, that you wrote there, it is not 6, it is 7 or 5 or whatever is that. I make a small mistake. And when I am doing the math, the simplification part I give to him. So I don't carry the calculator. I say, Sam, can you please do it and tell me the answer for this? So he will tell the answer. So he was of great help for me. And I think that I will be losing when he's going from me. And of course, he is very, very, very intelligent and a very hardworking person. And I was going through his biodata, and I saw that he is not excelling only in academics, but he has done equally well in extracurricular activities also. He has, to his credit, many, many hours of volunteering, community service, and he has done so much on computer technology. He has done the programming in advanced Java. He has learned the art of robotics, and he plays so many musical instruments like piano, guitar, drums. I was wondering how this guy gets the time and how he is able to balance the academics and the extracurricular activities. Maybe he is excellent in time management skills, and I feel that there may be students who say that, Mr. Kochi, I don't have time for this and that, but I feel that he can be a good coach to those people who complain about the time. As we said, when we give the work, give to a busy person, and you are sure it will be accomplished. So we cannot give the work to any lazy people because. And I'm glad that you are going to Northwestern University in Illinois, and you are pursuing doing masters in applied mathematics and with a minor in material sciences. I know that whatever you take up, and you will do excellent, whatever you take up. I am very sure about it, because you are a hard worker and you are an intelligent person. But one piece of advice I have, you are in Westlake Academy from the law KG class. That means you have seen only Westlake, and Westlake is like a family, you understand? We know each other, we have developed a relation like a family, but when you are going to university, it is totally a different place. There with thousands of children, and you will be lost, and nobody will be calling you, come on Sam, nobody will be calling you. So you will be, so what I want to say is there will be a lot of distractions all around. I need not tell you, I feel that you are quite matured, but you should know where to draw the line, and you should learn to say no if it is required to say no. And also one more thing I want to tell, that with humility, hard work, and honesty, you can achieve anything. These are very important. At this point, I also want to congratulate Sam's parents, because I believe that parents play a great role in the success of their children. And you have dedicated so much time, support, and you encouraged him. That is why he is so successful. So I am very thankful to you. I am also wishing good luck and congratulations to the other kids who are in this hall. All the 6 kids are belonging to my class, so so I was asking Sam why you selected me, not so I'm glad that you all selected as the top 10% in the class of 2019, and wish you all the best. Of course, I loved teaching your class. It was a privilege that I got a chance to teach you great kids. But once you are gone, I will be missing you all. But come and see us sometime. With that, I close this. Good night.
And I figured it out. The first phase is an aldehyde, and then the secondary alcohol. The secondary alcohol becomes a ketone.
All right. Connor Kreska.
So I had the privilege of selecting Miss Harrell as my teacher of impact. And so I've known Miss Harrell in a couple of different contexts throughout my time here at Westlake. When I was a sophomore, she was the student council advisor. And in 11th grade, she was Abby's mom to me because her daughter Abby was in my math class. And this year she was my IB English literature teacher. And although I haven't had her in a classroom context for that long, it doesn't take too much time to make a meaningful impact on a student. And so I think we had a connection that developed pretty quickly. And so I think that is what made selecting Mrs. Harrell so meaningful to me. And she's made Ivy English, the entire diploma program, more bearable. And we've had a lot of laughs, and one thing I'll remember for the rest of my life is that if you don't understand something, just say it adds to the ambiguity of the text. So, thank you.
I'm going to set this down over here because I'm going to drop it if I'm trying to talk. Thank you so much, and it's an honor to be selected by a student of this caliber. Obviously, everyone in the room is intellectually superior to most of the people I will ever meet in my life, so I think they're great, all of them. And hardworking, too, because you don't get to the top 10% of your class without having a work ethic. And, of course, Connor exhibits those qualities. One thing I would like to say about Connor is teachers in the room know this as well as I do. The students that push you to have answers to their questions are the ones that make you work hard are often the most meaningful students to work with for us. And Connor is one of those students. He doesn't let things slide that don't make sense. And I say things sometimes that don't make sense. All the kids in the room can probably go with that. But he asks questions. He's an inquirer, and he has the right kinds of questions to get further with the things that we're trying to explore. And if I say something in the literature that we're reading is metaphoric or symbolic, and he doesn't see it, he will say, why? But why? How so? You know? And so he really pushes me to have those answers and be better at my job. I hope that I am growing in my job at that. A couple other things about Connor that I'd like to mention as well. One of the things I thought about him when I first met him, you know, he had a reputation. He's very involved on campus with student council and various things. And he's always had a reputation of being a bright kid. When you would see him on campus, he has this little smile, and this big smile actually, and this sweet little, you would hate to hear this, but baby face kind of. He's just adorable. He's just adorable. But I always remembered thinking, he's so nice and so outgoing. This poor kid's gonna get walked all over in his life, right? I mean, you see people like that. He looks innocent and sweet, and he's so nice, and even though he's bright and various things, I thought, man, this kid's gonna get walked all over. Then he came to my class, And I can tell you right now, we have nothing to worry about. This kid is not going to let anyone walk all over him. He holds his own, he can defend himself, and he can question things that don't make sense, like I said earlier, like me. And so I think I'm not worried about him going to college. He's fine, Mom, Dad, okay? He really can, hold his own. I guess that's the best way that I can think of to say it. You guys as parents, and I know this probably goes for all the parents in the room, but this one's mine tonight. So you guys as parents must have the most joyful home because your kids are always wearing a big smile. They're always joyful kids. He puts a lot of pressure on himself, doesn't he? The rest of you? I mean, this kid puts a lot of pressure on himself, and I know you do. But within that, he still exudes a lot of joy, and so I appreciate that about you. Always a big smile. And a little bit of sarcasm. But of course. Kind of helped me to know it was going to be. But anyway, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
Okay. Macy Orman.
I guess I'll stand too. First and foremost, I want to thank all of the teachers in this room because every single one of you have had an enormous impact on my life, honestly to the point where it became so difficult to choose just one to speak about. But tonight I get to honor Mr. Talley. And for those of you who know Mr. Talley, and even those of you who don't, can look at him today and see his tie and know that he's well known for his amazing tie collection. He has an enormous variety of different colored ties. One of my favorites includes the piggy bank tie. But he also is well known for his, dad jokes or his puns that he says in class. One of my favorites includes the, "Okay guys, seriously, let's get down to business before every business exam." But all jokes aside, he's one of the funniest, most lighthearted people I've ever met, and for a teacher, that's saying a lot, because typically you get the teachers that are very strict and hard on you and want you to perform your best, but Mr. Talley is one of those people that can always make you laugh when you come to class, and that's one of my favorite things about being in both his econ and business class. And I also have the privilege of having him every single day, because I take both business and econ, so on A days and B days, I'll see Mr. Talley, and he may regret that later on because I always am asking him questions, pestering him, wanting to know more. But he always has an answer for me. He's always pushing me to do my best. He always wants me to work harder, get that next mark for the IB mark scheme. And I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. He's had such an impact on my life, too, because he serves as a role model. And he's a very inspiring person. Sorry, I'm going to get emotional. I've never had to speak like this about someone, but seriously, he's one of the most humble people too. He does so much for every single student in his class without wanting any recognition, and he deserves it the most, honestly. He's working from the crack of dawn in the morning. If you come at 6:30, you'll find his car in the parking lot. 5:30. Correction, 5:30. And he's always there when you need him. If you need test help, if you need life help, his door's always open, and for that I'm extremely grateful. So without further ado, Mr. Talley.
Thank you very much, Macy. It was very kind of you. It's been a real honor for me having you as a student for these 2 years. I've enjoyed seeing you in class every day, and that's right, I do see you every day. And it's not a hardship for me. I'm guessing it's more of a hardship for you having to see me every day. But it's been a real pleasure, and it's been an honor, and I really enjoy teaching you. And that's the thing, though, is that you say you ask questions to learn more, but it not only do I answer your questions or try to answer your questions and to help you learn, but by asking those questions, you push me too, and I have to think more, and I have to consider more, and so that's always good. You know, as a teacher, you want to go forward, and so I appreciate that every day that you do that for me, and so it's really been great having you as a student, and I do appreciate your kindness, your happiness in class. You smile all the time. It's just great seeing you every day, and you always seem to be happy, in a good mood, or most of the time anyway. So and the other thing that I found is that in the 2 years that I've known you, you are a person of impeccable character. I know I can count on you to do what needs to be done, to do what's right, and to go out of your way to make sure that you do that, and that you hold yourself up to the rest of the student body as well, and then they can look up to you and know what's right to do. You're always there. And Mr. Stroganov said it, arete. That's what you have. Yeah, thank you.
I look up to Macy too. Literally. Alicia Samani.
So any teacher or any student or any administrator you ask, they'll tell you that the class of 2019 is unique. It's none other like any grade, and that's because we're one big family. So when I was asked to pick a teacher of impact, it was really, really hard for me, but I decided to choose Dr. Owen for 2 reasons. The first was that we have the same favorite TV show, shout out to the West Wing, and secondly, because he never lets me forget how much he believes in me. And I remember, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional too. My junior year, I made a joke about how I wanted to be an astronaut. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm really bad at science, and I'm majoring in economics. So astronomy, or no, that's not right. Being an astronaut is just not my forte. And I was obviously joking, but Dr. Owen overheard and was like, "Oh, I could totally see you becoming an astronaut." And though I was obviously joking, that was when I realized Dr. Owen sees so much potential in me, and he believes in me. And thus continued throughout senior year when he wrote my letters of recommendation, and when senioritis kicked in full force, he was always there pushing me. His Highness the Aga Khan once said that hope is the strongest human motivator, so I wanted to thank Dr. Owen for always giving me hope.
Wow. So when I'll just pop this down here. When Alicia told me that she'd picked me as the teacher of impact, it was also at the same time that she told me that she just got into Princeton and Yale as well. And for those who know me, when it comes to emotions, I'm like a fortress of solitude. A heart of stone, ice in my veins, just inscrutable. But when she told me that, I was this hot, sobbing mess. It's just uncontrollable sobbing, and I was just so proud, and proud not just because of getting into Yale and Princeton, but proud of the wider thing that represented was for the 2 years that I've known you, your tenacity, your dedication, all the hard work that you do. I'm always so much in awe of. if there's a word that sort of captures Alicia, it's integrity. There's integrity in everything that she does, whether it's working for the Aga Khan Foundation, working on projects to bring art to kids who struggle for many reasons. Whether it's academic integrity, writing her extended essay based on research that she did in schools in India as well. I think what also makes Alicia stand out is the work that she does. It's not just academic work. It's not just academic writing. She uses her brain, uses her writing skills to sort of want to sort of change things, for the better. And reading her extended essay, you can see that she's so full of ideas, to make the world a better place. And if I was able to give an award for student of impact, in my career, it would be Alicia. It doesn't matter what kind of day I'm having, whether I'm frustrated or, it could be anything, just going to the classroom and knowing that Alicia's there to ask these fantastic questions to keep me on my toes, or whether it's just she's giving some sass to also keep me on my toes as well. She kind of makes my day. And I was also going to tell the astronaut story as well, and the reason why I was going to tell it is because it really doesn't matter where you go after Princeton or Yale. You can do absolutely anything. So I'll finish with a quote from the West Wing, which is, "I'm so excited to see what's next."
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Seniors, I just want to say a couple of things to you. You have really risen to the top of your class, and we are here tonight to applaud you for that. As you go through next year, there will be a new metric that will be set for you. There's no doubt that you mastered the metric for Westlake Academy, and that's not easy, but you did it. So when you hit that first hurdle next year, I want you to remember tonight. I want you to remember the laughter that we had. I want you to remember what your teacher of impact said about you. And I want you to know in your heart that you can do this, that you can get to the other side of the next 4 years of college. And so we feel very blessed that you are part of our lives. We feel very blessed that you chose Westlake, and we know that you will do great things. Parents, you did a really great job. You made a good choice, and then you supported your children through their experience at Westlake. And you heard when it got really tough, and you helped them work through it, and I thank you for that. And I want you to know we have incredible teachers. And today is a sampling of those incredible teachers. And that is a blessing for us at Westlake. So thank you for tonight. Thank you for spending your evening with us. And students, congratulations. And we are concluded.